Hello everybody, welcome to the Zero Torque Racing League season opener at Daytona. We're in the warm-up session here with 9 minutes, a little over 9 minutes left. Grab your popcorn everyone, it's going to be a great race tonight. We thank you all for coming out. And let's get some practice laps in. Let's watch these guys get ready for the first race of the season, the 250 at Daytona. Oh, we have a car on the wall there, Eric Morton, under practice. Good thing it's just warm up, and these cars are replaceable on iRacing. Without a doubt, though, I think we want to see probably the top 5 threats tonight. I want to do a little top 5 power rankings. Who I think is going to be the favorites. Probably a 5th, and kind of an underdog, is Carson Youngblood. He looked very sporty in that race in the duel. He looked solid, top 10 all race. I think that's a car. Looking forward tonight to be up front late, to be possibly in for a win, and maybe at least a good finish in the top 10, top 5, and that's where I think for a 5th place in my power rankings. There's Carson Youngblood, and that number 16 is Chevrolet. I think he's the guy you want to look out for. Sneaky quick. He could be someone who could really, really get you going. And Eric Morton, he's 4th in my power rankings. He was so close to winning the duel last week. Obviously, sadly, broadcasting issues on our end. Somehow it wasn't streaming and then it didn't save it, which is unfortunate. But Eric Morton ran really, really well in that, and I think he's a guy tonight. He's obviously going to be starting good, finishing 2nd in the duel. I think top 20 finishers, wherever they finish in the duel, is where they will start. We're hearing that Paul Buchanan might not make the race tonight. The man who won the duel, I believe he had surgery and it's rougher on him than he expected. I believe that's what I was told. Not quite sure, but either way, all the prayers and well wishes to Paul and his family after a great win in the duel. But number 3 on my power rankings is going to be Dustin Rogerson. He looked sporty. He was smart. He led some laps in the duel. He's someone I think is going to be a big contender today. And possibly the guy if it comes down to it. If we see these 2 guys in front of him in power rankings not do great, I think Dustin is really smart, really methodical throughout the whole race. And that's the kind of drive you need here at Daytona if you want to do good. And for my runner-up in this power rankings, it's going to be Jeffrey Goodpaster. Sat on pole for the race at the duel. Obviously didn't win it, but still, he led laps. He was up front all day long in that Toyota in the 38 machine, and that's a car you want to watch for winning this race tonight. He was bad fast in the duel. He'll be bad fast again, don't worry. But as the favorite, and I think the guy everyone should be watching, is that number 22 Pennzoil of Robert Tester. He was so quick in the preseason races at Vegas, Chicagoland. Obviously, speedways, they're not big super speedways like Daytona and Talladega, but he was so sporty in the duel, and I believe he did lead the most laps. So he is no doubt a car to watch in the draft tonight. He is among the higher in the iRating stand, which iRating doesn't mean anything, to be honest, but it is an indicator of cars and their speed and their drivers. So being up there in the higher end definitely doesn't hurt. But I think Robert Tester is your favorite tonight, and that he's fourth in the warm-up right now, only 6/100ths off of Drew Kuhn, the serial killer Drew Kuhn, as that is his nickname, apparently. That's a pretty cool nickname, I would say. But I think without a doubt, Robert Tester's the guy to beat tonight. They got to dethrone him tonight in that 22 Pennzoil machine if they want a chance at victory, or even a top 5, because he's going to be up there slicing and dicing. As the Penske cars, might not be a Penske car, but you got the Penske paint scheme, so might as well be. Looks like we have about 19 guys in the session right now, so pretty solid amount. 3 more minutes left before the race starts. So a few guys might be trickling in late here, but hope you all are going to have a great show tonight. I think we're in for a good show tonight. We're going to see some great pack racing, some great racing all around. This car race is pretty solid in the game on super speedways. Not perfect, but pretty solid, and it puts on an entertaining product. So I think we'll see a fun race tonight. It's going to be hard to get through the field, a little bit more gridlocked than the last update was. So being good in the duel last week is big for this race in your starting position. Obviously, you can still get to the front off of pit strategy and just making your way up, but having good lap times and putting yourself in a good position for later in the race is massive in this car, and especially at Daytona. It's a lot less wider than Dega. Doesn't have the huge checkups that Atlanta does to maybe gain a bunch of spots as much. So I think this is probably one of the tougher as far as super speedways come. Super speedway, it's a lot tighter. Obviously, Atlanta's much tighter, and I think Atlanta is there's a wreck. You're just in it if you're behind the wreck. But here, I mean, it's a chess match. It's a 200-mile-an-hour chess match, and that's what makes this type of racing so exciting for the at-home viewer. Is it's just so close, and any one of these drivers could win. Get some more the car sounds. Here, let's go. It's a cockpit view of that 12 machine. Hear nothing but race car sounds, people. I think something right here, ladies and gentlemen, something you really want to look at here is the banking. Look at the banking here, and look how much the car is just loaded out, and that's why guys can go so fast here, not have to brake or anything with these race cars. Just look how much banking. It's all flat. We're gonna get to Trio, which still has a good amount of banking, but it is insane the amount of banking that it is here at this speedway. And it's a spectacle. I'd love to go see this in person. I've personally never been, but it looks like an amazing facility, and I would love to one day come here and watch these races, because they look like, and one, they're entertaining, and the Daytona 500 is the biggest race of the sport, so it does not hurt at all to see the biggest names in our sport go for the biggest prize. But warm-up's about to finish up here, folks, in the Zero Torque Racing League. That means we're about to set the grid and get them rolling for the race. Warm-up is over. Time to grid them up for the race, and time for them to put on a show. Paul Buchanan will not start on pole tonight. health issues for, I believe, himself after surgery, so prayers to him. But because of that, Robert Tester will sit on the pole position tonight after being third in the duel. Or no, second in the duel, sorry. Robert Tester, second in the duel. He will be promoted to the pole sitter. Eric Morton will be the outside pole sitter. So the front row, a Ford and a Toyota. The third row, another Ford of Adam Gletfelter, and then a Chevrolet, the first Chevrolet of Carson Youngblood. In fifth place, we have Aaron Slightum in that 53 machine, another Chevy, and Aaron Longworth in the 42 Chevrolet. Dave Sharon in seventh in his 4 Ford. The 38 of Jeffrey Goodpasture, he was wicked quick when we looked at him. In the duel, he qualified on pole, so I would be very shocked if we don't see him up and about the top 10, the top 5. David P. Sharon worked really good with his brother, Dave Sharon. So I would expect him to be up there and all around the great part. And Jim Treat in 10th, and then Brian Matthews in 11th. Then we have Frank Chavez, Samuel Longworth, Jason Steptoe, Austin Norris, Blake Hewlett, Chris Hogg, Drew Kuhn, the serial killer, Dustin Rogerson. Oh, we have some cars not gridded in time. Aaron Slightum, Dustin Rogerson, and Drew Kuhn, not Drew the Kuhn. Three cars will not grid in time, so obviously Dustin just now gridded. He's in his pit stall, so those three are definitely going to lose the draft. Unfortunately for them, but Robert Tester, the anticipation is building. We want to see these cats get all rowdy tonight. We want to see them go 100 laps tonight. 65% on the fuel load, so go about 30, 35 laps max on your fuel. So they're going to have to make 2-3 pit stops tonight. So got to be clean on and off pit road. Find your friends, find your teammates. It's a long race. Don't take yourself out early. There's no fast repairs. That's the thing about super speedway racing. You really wish there was fast repairs sometime. Cheer on your favorite driver, folks. Your family member, a friend. It's going to be a long one tonight. 100 laps at Daytona. You round this pace car off into turns 3, into 4. Coming off the exit. Robert Tester is waiting to see that pace car disappear. Starter has the green flag ready. Once the field goes into the restart zone, green flag in the air. Robert Tester leads them to the green. Up through the fields they go. Gears. And you see Dustin Rogerson there coming off pit road. Tester leads him in the 1. The top lane really fizzles out. Eric Morton drops to the bottom. Adam Gletfelter slots in the 2nd in that 29 machine. All looking pretty civil so far. It's only lap 1. That top lane is going to the back. They are the 6th car. Got the 7th car in line. They are going backwards. Robert Tester off of turn number 4. He's going to lead the first lap here tonight in the Zero Torque Racing League 250. 22 led the most laps in the duel. He looks to lead the most laps tonight and then picked up a checkered flag. Gletfelter in 2nd. Carson Youngblood. Eric Morton. David P. Sharon in the 21 machine. They've kind of broken away from the 7th car in back of Jim Treat and Jeffrey Goodpasture. All single file out here for the top 16, very spread out. You're seeing the 2 cars who started in the pit lane. Not sure why it says they're a lap down and 2 laps down. That does not seem to be right. It shouldn't be any laps down. I'm sure that will get resolved. Or it's just a scoring issue on my end, not sure. Now we're in that portion of the race already. They are already single file. And by a lot, and I'm really surprised at how far the back of the pack here is from the front of the pack. You don't want to be that far back if you're trying to save fuel. You're kind of just tucked up behind the guy, trying to get the draft off of him. You don't want to be too far back or you're going to be in a disadvantage here, and not in the draft of lead cars, obviously. Which I think everyone's okay right now, but if these lead cars are actually pushing, and you're not back there, which I think they're really not with Brian Matthews back there, or they just can't with the number of cars. Robert Tester. This was the #1 guy in my power rankings tonight, without a doubt. He looked so sporty in the duel last weekend, and last Friday, not last weekend. Start of the weekend, right? But Robert looked so good, and this is why I picked that 22 car. Adam Gutfelder, though, he is a sneaky driver. He was all sneaky in the back half of the top 10 last week, and came up with a solid top 5 finish. He's up 1 spot from where he gridded in 3rd, and having a good run around. Brian Matthews has caught this field with Aaron Longworth. Samuel Longworth with the 2nd pack of 5 race cars. We've lost the draft. Oh, Chris Hogg. Hoig. I'm just going to say Hogue, because I have no idea how to pronounce your last name. I'm very sorry for pronunciation of this 58 machine. Hendrick.com's Chevrolet. Looks good out there. All by his lonesome, though, wants to find some friends. Luckily for him, I believe he'll get locked up here with Dustin Robinson, which is good for him. Robert Tester, race leader, Adam Gutfelder. Carson Youngblood, Eric Morton, Dave P. Sharon, your top 5. Single file out, the top 9 have had a breakaway. Or top 10, excuse me. All within a second. 5 seconds back is in the next pack. 5. I mean, I'm really interested to see here, because obviously Robert's going to be burning the most fuel up here in the 29 as well. Because they seem to be, I think, rather pushing in the middle of this pack. You can save a bit more gas, maybe. Maybe have a bit less fuel in the tank when you have to come down pit road, but I mean, it's all just up to discretion. What the strategy is tonight, obviously. You don't want to put yourself in a worse spot because you're saving as much as, oh, Carson, below that double yellow. It's a little dangerous there. I'm not sure if he's trying to spit out the 29. Looks like he might just try that. On the back straightaway. We're going to see Robert Tester lead him into turn 3. Very calm right now. Very, very calm early portions of this race. You know, you see that here at plate tracks. It's a very common thing. You know, calm part of the first race, and the second part of the race is really when business picks up, and these guys know it's go time. So Robert Tester and the rest of this field is kind of being patient. No reason to push it real hard right now, and they know that. I mean, we know that at home. Pushing it really, really hard doesn't do anything for you early, aside from possibly get you and your team better guys in front. And you don't want to be the guy causing wrecks out here. No one wants that. No one wants to do that. We all just want to have good, clean, hard racing. You don't want to see wrecks out here. They do tend to happen a bit more at the super speedways. Eric Morton down on the WO line as well. That is out of bounds, so hopefully no one gets flagged for passing on the WO line. We don't like to see that consequence brought up all that often, because it's not a fun one to debate and talk about, the WO line. This is packed back here. We're about losing a 10th or 2 a lap on the main pack. It seems 8 laps in, 8 completed laps in, or 7 completed laps in, on the 8th lap. This pack just kind of riding back there. They are bleeding time to the main pack, so definitely I think these guys need to get a little tighter up and start pushing a lot harder if they want to catch the main pack, unless they're just going to be much, much better on pit cycle. But it doesn't matter, I think, how much better you are on pit cycle. 5 seconds, almost 6 now, for the lead car is a long, long list of getting back up to speed. But 3 cars now, Drew, Chris Hogg, and Dustin Rogerson. So they have found that 3rd friend. Chris Hogg has found his friends, so that's good for all these guys having an extra car, and obviously Chris didn't have any cars with him, so it's going to help the speed out. They are still 13.4 back from the race leader, Robert Tester. Very, very calm early stages of this race. Without a doubt. So really the question is, do we see anyone start getting racy or thinking about undercutting in pit stops, or do we see friends? I think without a doubt you'll see the Sharons pit together. most likely teammates. They worked together quite well in the duel, or they worked together quite well in the duel, and they ended up with some solid top 10 results. So I would assume they would put together. If I'm this lead group, I'm just saying we're all going to pit together. But I mean, I'm not these drivers, right? These teams are they're gonna think about who they're gonna pit with, everyone pit with teammates. But without a doubt, you want to have a good job on and off pit road. No mistakes, no speeding penalties, and especially no unsafe pit entrance or exits. That is a killer for your race. That is a 40-second hold. I believe we saw that. I believe at Las Vegas, or it was in Chicago, Eric Morton. I think that's right. Where he had a 40-second hold to put him a lap down, and it is a killer to your race. It doesn't matter if you're top 5, if you got a good gap, it's going to end your race a 40-second hold down pit road. Even at a drafting track where the track is so big, even if you don't go down a lap, you're going to because you're without any draft and help most likely. So, gotta be vigilant on getting on and off pit road well. It's a very important thing, without a doubt here. And you're seeing a lot of Fords in the top 10 and up here. I mean, 1, 2 are Fords, and you have the Chevy of Carson Youngblood, the lone Toyota, until you go all the way back to 8th of Jeffrey Goodpasture. You have Eric Morton in 4th there. He's down 2 spots from where he started on the outside front row. Then you have another 3 Fords, Sharon, Goodpasture. You have a pair of Chevys at the back here. So a lot of Ford domination so far. They have led every lap of this race, as has Robert Tester, who started on pole for this race. After getting the pole, as Paul Buchanan's not with us tonight, he did win the duel. He got 5 bonus points for it. Robert Tester ended up P2 in the duel. And now he's leading this field around the racetrack with the choo-choo train they got going on. See these cars as they enter turns 3 and 4. Just look how fast they are. Absolutely flying. They are boogieing down in there. If I do say so myself, they're going 180, 190 miles an hour. Right there, they're going 190 through the trioval right there. And we're not sure if they're saving gas or not, right? Top speed around this track that Robert Tester has gone is 199 miles an hour. That is flying around this track. It looks like business has picked up a little bit. For the front half of the field, starting to drop a few cars in the back. They're much more spread out. I'm not sure if it's fuel saving or what. They're definitely much more spread out than they were. You see this backpack here. This 3 cars back here, they have been stuck at 13 seconds this entire race. So good job with this group of cars. Obviously doing a great job with Drew Kuhn, Dustin Rogerson, and Chris Hogg to keep yourselves in the race. I mean, I thought they were going to bleed so much time with just 3 race cars. They've done a great job keeping the pace. And I mean, they're down to 12 there for a split second there on the timing chart. So that's a great job from those teams, and these 3 guys, and keeping themselves in the game. And man, they're gaining time on the race leaders right now. Great job from these guys. Robert Tester beat him down to the back straightaway. An aerial shot on this racetrack. It is a fun racetrack. It really is, until you get caught in the big one in the regs. Because sometimes it's not up to you, it's up to fate where you're going to finish and what direction you get involved in here. It is a big chess match. At this racetrack, you're going to see that fight often. Tempers do flare here, almost, if not more, than short tracks. I mean, it is just a rough place sometimes. It can make people heartbroken. It is just such a tough place. But winning here is just a different feeling when you see these big tracks. You survive the chaos, you put yourself in a good spot, and now you're sitting with your win in Champaign. Well, if you were in real life, and here you're just gonna get it's still very exciting. Don't get me wrong. A lot of these guys put a lot of work in, and I mean, I myself have done the league stuff. It's a fun thing, and people get competitive, and competition is fun, and no matter what level. And these guys put on a great show weekly. here at Zero Torque Racing League, and it is without a doubt a good product. So without a doubt though, 15 first laps led consecutive wasn't on my list for Robert Tester. I thought someone was going to challenge for the lead here, not just log laps, but no, they are all content in the top 10 here, just riding around, and I don't blame them. I mean, they're in a good spot. The other 8 cars on track are not even in the lead draft, so they're guaranteed a top 10 at the moment, which doesn't hurt. Top 10 sounds pretty good no matter how many cars are in the field, unless there's only 10. It looks good on the stat sheet too, so no reason to really get antsy right now. We got the spectator's view in the stands. If you were at the track right now, this is what you'd be seeing. Take a whole lap here in this fan's perspective. Maybe starting to see some dropping back there for the back. Matthew's trying to start the top lane, maybe just trying to go as far as back he can to save the most gas. And it's crazy to think that is 2 miles away. You're watching from the top of this stands. That is a far ways away. Seeing the closing right there, the 42. That is what it looks like in the fans' perspective around this track. But that's all the way to the top, so you can't even see the back straightaway if you're lower in the stands. It is a massive venue that we come to at Daytona. It is one of the biggest tracks on the schedule, obviously. Not as big as Talladega, but not much smaller. Its sister track of Talladega is a little bigger and a little wider, without a doubt. But it is still just a crazy place to see. And the atmosphere at Daytona, especially 500 times, is just different. The opening race to any racing league, real life or virtual, is just a different feel if you want to win it. And right now, Robert Tester is leading the field around. And for this race, the winner will get a plaque. They'll get a real life plaque sent to them. So without a doubt, they have a little extra incentive for this race. They get an actual trophy, per se, and they want to hang that sucker on the wall. So without a doubt, everyone's a little tad bit more incentive to win this race tonight. It doesn't hurt to have incentive. Right now, everyone's just kind of logging laps, being patient. As they have since lap 1, it seems. We haven't seen 2 wide racing since, I believe, lap 2. So, it's been very, very, very calm and reserved. Eric Morton's Toyota here. I mean, that is a beautiful monster car. I think I said that. It is a very pretty race car. And teal sometimes doesn't work very well in race cars, but right here, the monster paint scheme, it looks very nice out here. Looks very sharp. And without a doubt, Monster's a huge contributor to the Cup Series in real life. A lot of racing drivers use this car. Sponsor. It's a big sponsor. They dump a lot of money, not only for sports in general. No brand is recognizable or the real life Cup Series. It's called the Monster Energy Cup Series, so it's a big brand and they're a big racing brand, and we love to see sponsors that are very supportive of the brand. Carson Youngblood, his sponsor is Cool Dog. I believe that's his own business. Diecast. Diecast. Check him out here in the Discord. That is very cool. He makes his own diecasts, puts them out to people. I mean, it's a really cool business. Oh, it's Eric Morton, squirrely back there and forth all by himself. Oh, it's close a little bit. All by herself, not sure what happened. But he's just dancing all over the place. It's 2 ride. It is just very calm. This is like the calm before the storm in the Midwest. You can just feel the storm coming, rolling up on you. And it will come. And I have to say, I love this Brian Matthews Buffalo Trace scheme. There's another great paint scheme. All these guys have great paint schemes, but sometimes they stick out a little bit more. But this Buffalo Trace car, I believe this is my dad's favorite whiskey. So I'm sure he would appreciate this paint scheme without a doubt. I believe this Buffalo Trace distillery did get flooded down there in Kentucky with all the bad storms, unfortunately, for that business and all the people down in Kentucky. But the paint scheme's looking great with Buffalo Trace and Brian Matthews in the top 10. the back half of the top 10, but it doesn't matter. In the top 10, it's in the lead group. Having a good run so far, so good looking team, good run so far really in this race. And another story, that 3-car group, well, they caught this 5-car group. What a great job from this group of cars. They're driving to the front of this group. Dustin Rogerson has driven up to 12. He's behind Austin Norris. Great job. Only 8.4 back. So I'm wondering if these guys can push this pack maybe to the back bumpers of Ryan Matthew and Aaron Longworth and get them back in contention. I mean, and there's about as many cars. There are only 8 cars compared to 10, so they're only 2 cars worse in terms of numbers. They could very well start closing in. I believe they are starting to close in that gap. You see the timing score on the left. Norris minus 8.0. Coming down ever so slightly. About 2/10, 10th a lap for this group, which is solid. Getting back into the rhythm, but what's going to come up here is pit cycle, and you're going to see the top guys in the front. They have to get on and off the road just as well as these guys do. So very, very important for these cars back here. Norris, Rogerson, Longworth, Steptoe Kuhn. They have to execute on pit road. When you're already back, not in the lead draft, you have to execute. They cannot afford to go in a 2-car tandem again because you lost the main pack. There's not another pack to fall back into. So it's very important for these guys especially. I mean, the leaders, obviously, they gained 9/10 of a second that lap. That is almost a second quicker. They are flying. Wow, that is a fast lap time. Yeah, they ran a 47.4, did Austin Norris, and the leaders ran a 48.3. So that is 9/10 of a second quicker. That is a lot quicker. These cars are push right now. And I don't blame them. Now they're going to put it to 6. Man, they are flying. Rogerson's getting Austin Norris closer and closer. And once they get to the draft of Ryan Matthews, it's going to be smooth sailing. Time of 48.7 for the race leader and 47.6. So a second and a 10th quicker. They are on the move. And every little bit you get closer with this second pack, you're going to start getting snippets of that draft from the lead pack. They're only 4 seconds back. 4.2, I believe, from Matthews. So every bit closer you get, you're going to see the draft from the lead pack. You're going to start getting a hole, and then your line's going to get there real fast. And maybe we'll see an actual battle for the race lead. And these guys, look at them, they're very spread out, not really looking to push. If I was them, obviously I'm not in the driver's seat right now, but if I was them, I'd want to keep these guys away from us. We don't want these guys in the race with us. Now they're in push mode. Yeah, you might save a bit more gas. We don't want them in the main pack with us. They could do some good strategy, getting off the road and off better than us. We don't want that. But they are closing in on the lead pack. 48.5 for Robert Tester, a 47.4, so another second and a 10th. These guys all need to stay single file. If I'm them, I'm just riding the bottom, not going all over the place down the backstretch, snaking a little bit, like you see the snaking. You don't want to snake. I see that a lot. Snaking's something that's obviously you want to stay in the draft with the car in front of you, but just kind of stay in your lane, and you'll most likely catch them. They are about 3.4. Oh, we see pit stops, the second group. We're going to see some guys miss. Oh, Chavez missed pit road. That's not good for Chavez. No, Frank Chavez in the 13 machine. You cannot do that. That is horrible luck for him. And oh, in the 7, he missed his pit stall. Samuel Longworth missed the pit stall in that 7. Red Bull machine. Oh, it's such a huge mistake. There goes Dustin Rogerson off pit road. There goes Kuhn, Jason Steptoe. Longworth got to find some friends. Austin Norris down pit side for a long time. Still down pit side. And you're seeing the race leaders, the race leading pack down pit road. It's much more orderly. In that backpack, and there's Frank Chavez just trying to hope that they have a good pit stop. And if I'm them, no tires, all gas. Austin Norris still down pit road. Samuel, I wonder if he got an unsafe pit entrance. That's what I'm thinking he got, is an unsafe pit entrance, because I'm not sure why he's still down pit road, but that is a big mistake if so. And Samuel Longworth, he's down pit road still as well. Man. I'm gonna look at this Dustin Rogerson. He's all by himself. And a very, very unorganized stop down pit road with that second group of race cars. And you're only seeing 2 hooked up right now. There's Frank Chavez. There's Hall. I'm not sure if they all talked about strategy. There's Austin Norris. He's barely in front of the race leaders, so he's hoping that they don't get formed up too soon. He sees a yellow. He does not want to be going down a lap here. Obviously, if you be the first one a lap down, but being a lap down never feels good. There's Longworth out, so I'm assuming he got an unsafe entrance too, or maybe speeding down pit road. Sure. A lot of mistakes though, and 3 Fords out front. Eric Morton's lost touch with them, and there's the big back. Whoa! Dustin Rogerson. Not sure if he pulled a block there or if the Ford just tried to get around. This is the most organized pack of them all. They're going to reel in Carson Youngblood quick. And Robert Tester, he doesn't want to be second fiddle right now and make lap time. He wants to be in the race lead. He'll take it from Adam Gletfelter. So Gletfelter to third, Jim Treat to second. Carson Youngblood's going to see this big pack of cars behind him in a line. He's going to feel helpless here in a second. Here comes Rogerson. Oh no, Rogerson's behind him. Wow. Most people would have just drove right on by, but no, Rogerson wants to be the pusher in the second car in this line. And look at it, immediately to the back bumper of Carson Youngblood in the 16 machine. They're going to pick up Eric Morton too, so they're going to have another car added to their fleet. As Austin Norris goes down a lap. And Samuel Longworth, he's a lap down as well, but he has no help. Gonna hope for a yellow. Save his race. 53 of Slidham did not start this race. He's out. Whoa! Robert Tester about got turned by Jim Treat. Whoa, that was close. Really tight right there. Eric Morton has funneled his way into third in line here. So this is where the bulk of the field is. Seeing Blake Hewlett all by himself. Frank Chavez, we saw him miss pit road. We saw Chris in the 58 Chevrolet. Not sure if it's just a slow stop or what. He's further back as well. Austin Norris, he did not stay with those top 3 either. These top 3 are grouped up and they're tight. This group of cars will reel them in. They are not going to be quicker than this group of cars pushing hard. Take a run down Robert Tester, Tree, Gletfelter, and those 3 Fords. Seeing 2 Chevys lead this field. Big shove right there to Carson Youngblood. The gap to the leaders is 5.2 seconds right now, and it is shrinking quickly. Down into the tri-oval, lap 32. Robert Tester, I believe, has led almost every lap, aside from the few that Gletfelter. Whoa, is Youngblood! All out of shape there, out of the tri-oval. Man, that could have been big. Right there at the front of the field, keeps it straight, and they're going to reel up on Austin Norris here, who is a lap down. And if I'm Norris, I'm making that car wide, trying to stay on the lead lap, or just try to make it. Oh, it's just choosing for the outside. Side driving hard here, try to sniff a little bit of draft. That's what you want to do. I think he'll fall in here at the back of the pack here. We'll see if he's able to. Hopefully for his sake he does. Oh, it's good. Try to accommodate it into the pack. All good. 3 seconds now is the gap. 3.4 to be a bit more precise to the race leader, to Carson Youngblood. Man, they are reeling them down. They added another car though with Austin Norris, the lap car, to the fleet. It doesn't hurt at all to have more cars to the leader cars. in this big group, and this is almost the entire field. So without some mistakes from like guys like Chavez, the 58, Norris, Longworth, I think everyone would have been in the main pack again. I think everyone would have closed it all up. I think that second pack did a good job of being aggressive on pit road. Even though they were very disorganized, they were a great job of getting on the brakes hard and gaining some time. We're seeing not too much quicker right now. They're about 6/10 quicker than these guys who are leading. So honestly, with that big of a pack, these guys must be pushing hard with their race cars right now. The thing we'd like to look at, without a doubt, is that lap time. Lap time right there. So you're gonna see it in the last few laps. Second, 5/10, 3/10 that lap. So it's kind of calmed down. Not sure if Dustin's getting hot a little bit in the engine, but 3/10 went from second, and 1.1, 1.3 to 5/10, and they are reeling them in. So I'm not quite sure why it's doing that. The pit strategy. Everyone's coming in a lap before after each other. Rogerson, the only one in the top 8 here, who's actually cycled up and into the top 8 with pitting early. So good job from Rogerson tonight. It's a great job from him. There's some Youngblood. Pack, they're about 2.7. They're going to start sniffing the draft at 1.5, 1.4. Definitely at 1 second to start sniffing the draft. So they're almost in that window. They're going to start making draft and start making time. So this is really go time, and we're only 36 laps in, so we're barely a quarter of the way in of this race. We're 36% of the race in, so we're not even halfway. I mean, there is a long, long way to go in this race, but we're seeing a lot of storylines develop early. And one of them is Robert Tester's the man to beat. Power rankings early before the race started, I had him as the #1 guy. I didn't think it'd be this down at a track like Daytona, but Carson Youngblood might just dethrone him once he gets here. 1.6, and they're catching the lap car of Longworth. He's going to go 2 down here. If I'm him, I'm making that car wide, making it difficult for Robert to put me 2 down. I need to stay only 1 down. It is a haul of a tall, tall task to get from 2 laps down here, even with a bunch of wrecks at the end. You're just going to be buried in traffic. And whoa, Jim Treat. Thought was going to go to the inside under the little line there. If I'm Longworth, right to the back bumper of Gletfelter, and I'm going to try and do something once the pack gets here. There's Carson Youngblood. They have caught the top 3. It is officially go time, and maybe we'll see some racing. Haven't seen much of it tonight. It's all going to fall in line. No. Youngblood to the top. I'd love to see some side-by-side racing, not single file, and Youngblood and Rogerson jump to the outside. Only 2 to do so, though. Oh, Gletfelter tried to pull a block. Only 2 cars out there right now. Whoa, Jim Treat didn't pull up. So did Robert Tester a little bit. Eric Morton jumps to the outside. Youngblood now side by side with P2 as they enter the tri-oval. A battle for the race lead. Tester's going to lead this lap, but Youngblood's right on his heels. Look at this top. They want to lead. But if you're Youngblood, you leave Rogerson. You're clear now. Oh, you're both clear. Rogerson leaves you out. He goes to the inside. The 9 pulled a big side draft, sucked him back. Whoa, contact! Rogerson in the 9. Gletfelter pushed below the O-line. A lot of cars below. Oh, we see a car around. Rogerson around. Big wreck down the back straightaway. More wrecking into turns 3. Yellow is out. Big wreck. Oh. The big one at Daytona strikes. Lap 39. You could tell down the backstretch, they were getting antsy. Rogerson, he hit hard to the outside wall. Oh, tough break for a lot of guys. My, oh my. We're gonna have to take a look back on that because that was big. What happened right there? Man, the 23, I think he might be done tonight. Was in the top 5 for power rankings tonight. Take a look back here. Oh, that is already wrecking big. Just gonna go back here. Go to Dustin Rogerson's POV, and we're gonna get a blimp view. I think that will be or a chopper view. I think that'll be a good way to see what happens here down the back straightaway. So they're side by side. Oh, the 9 shoots left. Oh, they hit hard. Obviously, the steering's broke for the 23. Robert Tester sneaks by. Jim Treat gets spun. The 29 of Gletfelter gets hit hard. I mean, they wreck after. Oh, looky here. Yeah, Kuhn comes back up the track, tags the 7 of Samuel Longworth. He tags the 4 of Sharon. Man, that's massive. And then Gletfelter gets another piece of it. The 21 of David P. Sharon. He did a great job getting through all that. I want to look at his point of view of all this. I mean, I'm just not sure. A lot of cars dipping below you can see everyone dipping below the yellow line. Really defensive there, and we're going to get a cockpit view of this. Let's see what happened here. See the car start wrecking. Slows it down. Gases are up. Gases are up again here. They're going to start wrecking again. Wrecking again. Comes out of nowhere. Grass in front of him. That's no harm, no foul. It's just a little bit of fender damage. See Dave Sharon spinning through the grass here. My, oh my. Back to live. That was a wild crash down the back straightaway. A lot of cars with some damage there, and I believe Samuel Longworth is out of this race. Seeing Drew Kuhn, the serial killer, down pit side. Dustin Rogerson, he had heavy damage. Adam Gletfelter, his 29, he hit multiple times. Austin Norris, who was a lap car, I believe he's back on the lead lap. Putting some tires on her. I think he made it through the wreck. Not too shabby. Ryan Matthews back out on the racetrack. Eric Morton as well in that crash. A lot of cars in that crash. That was a huge crash. Down pit side. Robert Tester, though, he even through it all, and he was so close to being hooked right and getting put in that wreck. I mean, you could start feeling the storm brewing, and once we saw a lot of cars get to the outside lane, you started seeing the aggression pick up, and the 9 of Eric Morton shoots left into Dustin Rogerson, spins him out in front of the field, and ends his own night as well, did Eric Morton, with that miscalculation on the side draft. And as we're one to go here, but man, we have lost a lot of race cars. Adam Gletfelter still down pit road. Eric Morton's done for the day. Don't see him on track anywhere. I believe there's only going to be 13 cars on lead lap, so we're going to see 4 cars DNF from that wreck, or be out of it, 5 to 4, or at least be multiple laps down. So, without a doubt, tough breaks. I mean, Gletfelter with Adam, he didn't have anything wrong there. It just wrong place, wrong time. And Eric Morton is officially out. Dustin Rogerson out. Seeing Longworth out. Kuhn is still down pit road. Trying to fix it up. Doesn't look too bad as long as the steering's out and the engine's all good. Unfortunate. We hate to see that. It was just getting spicy. It was getting good. And man, big wrecks. They suck. We don't like to see big wrecks, especially midway through the race. Not even. We're 42 laps in, 100 laps, and I mean, we ran a really clean single file race. And once we get racing, we see a crash. which always is a shame. 13 cars will be on the lead lap. Glatfelter and Kuhn still down pit side. We'll see if they rejoin us multiple laps down. They're already at least one. I believe they're two. And Adam Glatfelter is leaving pit road right now. I don't believe he will catch this pack in time, so it's going to be a little late. He was on pit road for about 4 minutes. Yeah, about 4 minutes, so he was repairing a lot of damage. He is 2 laps down. He will go 3 because he will not catch the field. But here we are. Starter will hold the green flag. It's at the discretion of Robert Tester on when this field gets back to racing. He'll enter the Geico restart zone. And green flag is out. Robert Tester leads them back to the green. A good launch there. He is 2-3 car lengths out. He's going to jump up and pick up Carson Youngblood. And there you are, Jeffrey Goodpasture. He's made his way to the front. Talked about him in pre-race as well. He's on the outside though, all by his lonesome now as Youngblood and Tester drop to the bottom, filing in this single file freight train. I think that's where you're going to see this race kind of fold out to, is the single file nature after the big crash. Guys usually tend to calm down a little bit for a few laps until they start building up the confidence again. And why was I say that? The 58's in the fence. Chris Haug made some contact. He's through the grass. Will he make the pit road? No caution. Oh, that is a heartbreaker for the 58 machine. He's going to bring her pit side. Man, that one's going to sting, and that might be day over. That's hard. Oh, yeah, that's day over. Look at the right front suspension. It is not straight any sort of the way for the 58 machine. Got lucky with the yellow there in the back. Wasn't involved, and now day over. He's parking it. Frustrating end of the race for him. No caution either. They keep it green. This field, single file. We're seeing some cars lose the draft, though. Matthews, Norris, and Chavez. 3 cars all by them lonesome. Blake Hewlett as well. He's going to lose the top 8. So, top 8 cars starting to break away. Seeing Adam Glatfelter all by his lonesome on the racetrack. Robert Tester continues the lead. Man, I don't know how many laps he's led tonight, but it's a lot, and it might be in the 40 range. He might lead almost every lap tonight. I mean, I believe Glatfelter, he did lead a few, but Robert, once he caught him, went straight back to the race lead, and he has set the tempo all night. And now with Youngblood, Longworth, Steptoe. Steptoe had a rough duel, got caught up in 2 crashes, unfortunately. Had a solid race before going there. He's running inside the top 10. But he's made his way into the top 5. He's up 11 spots from where he started. Seeing this top 8 here. They're setting pace now. And now you're going to see it kind of migrate back to the early part of the race, right? Where everyone's just saving their stuff. Where everyone's just going to be smart. Think, okay, guys, we just saw a big wreck. We don't need to race anymore. We can calm it down. We can maybe just chill, right? I mean, that's all we want to do. We all want to make it to the end, to have a shot at victory lane. And without a doubt, these guys are, I think, in that mood right now. Let's just fuel save. Let's just ride around single file and log some laps, because we just saw a big one, and it took out half the field almost. So, without a doubt, you don't want to see big wrecks like that early. And with only an 18-car field tonight, big wrecks like that just really take out a lot of competitive cars. That's unfortunate. Tester, though, continues to be dominant tonight, and this is big for him in the point standings. Obviously, he finished second. Got the 4 bonus points for that in the duel. Second in points in the race. So Paul Buchanan, obviously not starting tonight. He was the points leader with those 5 points. It doesn't hurt. I mean, 5 points, definitely I'll take 5 points when I need 5 points. They never, every point does matter at the end of the day. And it is a win and you're in playoff system here in the Zero Torque Racing League. So if you feel like this is your chance to make the playoffs, well, you gotta get it. I mean, next week's another Super Speedway of Atlanta. So we're gonna go straight back to Super Speedway racing. But a racetrack like this is a little less technical and a little easier to make your way to the front than Atlanta. So without a doubt, you want to maybe catch a checkered flag here if you don't think you can do that anywhere else. You're seeing two packs. You're seeing Matthews' pack, who's about 7.6 off the race leaders, and they are bleeding time. Not looking like they're gaining time at all, unfortunately for them. And you have this main 8 led by Robert Tester. And let's go through the field a little bit. Obviously, we've talked about Robert a lot, but let's talk about Carson Youngblood. He led that pack to the front of the field, was battling the lead when the wreck happened behind him. I mean, he's had a solid race tonight. He was in the power rankings as well, I believe. And he's been good all night long. He's been solid. He's been up front. That's a car in a quiet day so far for Aaron Longworth, his fellow Longworth in the 7. He's had a rough day, going a few laps down and getting caught up in the big wreck. Unfortunately, whoa, as you see Robert Tester about get spun from the race lead. I mean, that was almost a bump back gone wrong, and it would have took out a lot more race cars. But Aaron Longworth, he's had a quiet night tonight. He started in the 6th position. He's been quietly in here all day and around the top 10. And that Aaron's 42, so a quiet night, but that might be a good night. He avoided the big wreck for the most part, and that's good. That car looks clean, and it's running 3rd right now on the podium in a spot to come talk to me up here in the booth. And we have Jason Steptoe right here. He's done a pretty good job as well. I mean, kind of just been in the top 10 he's been in the top front pack all race tonight, and that is a good thing to have. He's a watermelon like Ross Chastain for his thing in there. He has a little watermelon man for Jason Steptoe. That's a cool little detail there on the. That's hard to see there. It's on the door, top of the door where the driver's name is. So a little hard to see, but I mean that is a cool Air Force. Without a doubt. We have Dave Sharon. He's up 2 spots from where he started this race in that Ford machine. You saw him spinning through the grass when that big wreck happened. Got through mostly clean though. In the True Timber number 4. It says Camo. I thought it said Camaro. There's Gletfelter going down 3 laps as they pass him in the number 29. But he's had a solid race, and he's right there with David P. Sharon in that 21 Havoline. Looking like Davey Allison out there, 21 car. He's had a solid race for him. About this spot the entire race so far. It's been quiet, but quiet's good at Daytona sometimes, and it's been a good quiet. He made his way through the back of the wreck very well at avoiding getting her woe down, doing a good job at staying out of the chaos. 7th here. Jim Tree, he was one of those 3 cars who was in that 3-way breakaway before they got ran down. We saw a big crash on the backstretch. He was involved in that Premier setup number 367 machine. We see a triple number out here. Those are always cool to see, and I think they look really great on this race car with the front bump, with the front numbers being closer to the front bumper. That looks really good, and that's going to be it for the front 7, as Good Pasture in the 38 has lost the front 7. He's trying to link up with the 29 and gain back. We're sure he's finally gaining back, but 38's had a good night tonight and a good looking Flames paint scheme. Ran solidly, all day, and he's looking to run in the 8th position, trying to run back down the path with the damaged Adam Gletfelter. Look back here at Brian Matthews in the Buffalo Trace number 28 Chevrolet. Runs in 9th. It's been solid so far. He has Austin Norris behind him, but he's ran about right here the entire race. 9th and 10th has been where Matthews has ran, and that's pretty good. He's putting himself for a good spot here till the end of the race, keeping himself clean, and honestly, the wreck's going to happen up front, so if he's back here in this pack, maybe a bit of a strategy as well to avoiding the big wreck like he was almost just in. Austin Norris, he was a lap down, and that's an interesting pace scheme. Trash Panda, whoa, that is cool. A bunch of raccoons all over the car. I love it. It's a goofy little scheme, but it is a fun one in the 57 Toyota. I like that, but he's had a solid night tonight. Ran at the back for most of the part. I mean, got lost the draft in the first cycle, got up, caught that pack, was in that second pack. Had an issue down the road. Went a lap down. He's back on the lead lap after the massive crash, avoiding it. Good job. Got the free pass. So he's done a good job tonight. Frank Chavez was in that second pack. He missed pit road. We saw there, I mean, in this 13 Monster Chevrolet. That's a cool Monster Chevrolet. It's a really cool paint scheme. Does not even look like a monster car. It looks very different than the traditional green that you see. It's red and it's really cool. Saw the other monster car, Eric Morton, crash out a little earlier. The blue teal one. So this 13 is still in it. Still in it to win it. Doesn't matter if you're back far right now. He still has a chance at making it to victory lane tonight. We have Blake Hewlett, last car on the lead lap, and that goes to number 87 Chevrolet. There's a little Sour Patch Kid guy on the side of that door, which is cool, but Blake's had a solid night. He's just been quiet, and that's solid. You want to just keep your nose clean, be smart about it. Don't be aggressive at all, and just ride your race and ride it out. That is your every car in lead lap. The only two cars running that aren't in lead lap is Adam Gutfelder, 3 down, and Aaron Longworth, or Samuel Longworth, my apologies, who is 11 laps down, who is in the lead draft, but he's hoping for DNF for his spots right now. Actually, race leader, Tester continuing to control. 56 laps is what we're on. We have 55 complete. We've seen 1 caution flag for incident. And Robert Tester is leading this field around on the pacing. So these Fords have kind of been dethroned. A lot of Fords in the top 10. Only 1 Ford in the top 4. And you have to go back to 3 Fords straight with the 2 Sharons and Jim Treat. Only 1 Toyota in the top 10, and that is Jeffrey Yidpash. Second group, go ahead. Unfortunately for both of them, those Toyotas. So Toyota's numbers have dwindled a tad bit, without a doubt, unfortunately, but it's all right. We still have a few cars in it to win it, and they are not out of it yet. As I talk about that second group, they are starting to reel them back in. I believe they're about a 13-second lap, seconds back. They are quicker. We got 48.7 from Robert Tester, and Matthews with a 47.6, so 1.1 seconds quicker. Not sure if they're backing the pace up a bit, but either way, for that 9th to 12th place pack, that's good. It's the calm before the storm again. Let me see Frank Chavez. He's having an issue. What's happened to Frank Chavez? A replay of that. What happened to Frank? He's rolling around the back straightaway here. Oh, he's gonna get turned hard in the outside wall. No caution either.
The yellow flag is out.
Oh, and yellow. Yellow is out on the speedway. Is that for a different incident? Something, not quite sure. We saw the yellow. Either way, a break for Frank Chavez. If he's able to get repaired, he's going to go a lap down here, but still a break for him. 81 machine. Yeah, it's a shame you weren't able to make the race, man, but I'm sure we'll see you next week. And hopefully we will, because we're putting on a show tonight. We miss you. We hope we're back next week. Scrat, and that's I hope that is your name in the race too. You know, names are with YouTube. Ooh, wow, we gotta get them woed down. Catching this pace car. Whoa, a lot of dotting and weaving. Robert Tester leading him down the back straightaway. Caution is out. They are not in the fuel window right now. Let's see, Adam Gutfelder. I wonder if he's gonna free pass here. For sure. Right there, I believe he's just anticipating the free pass to happen here. And either way, he's gonna take the way around because all these lead lap cars are fit. Here we go 2 down. Frank Chavez still down pit road. If I'm Chavez, I'm at least gonna try and stay on the same lap or a lap above Gutfelder if I can, if the damage lets me do that. Obviously, he's going to have damage to the end of this race, unfortunately for him, but as long as it's not too bad, I believe. And you're going to see every one of these race cars come down pit side. Robert Tester, and you're seeing Longworth back down 7. He's going to try and get one of those laps back. So it'll be 10 down. Frank Chavez is leaving the pit, so I believe only 1 lap down, which honestly isn't too bad. He'll be the only car 1 lap down. And he can race his way to the front and maybe just be on lead lap, just 40 seconds behind the lead lap. So he's definitely not out of this race. Still a long, long race, and Robert Tester is going to win the race off pit road. With Youngblood in 2nd, Aaron Longworth. Jim Treat comes out in 4th. Jeffrey Goodpasture in 5th. Dave Sharon in 6th. Brian Matthews comes out in 7th. Austin Motors. Other cars, David B. Sharon in 10th. And Jason Steptoe still down pit road. Sure there's some damage on that machine, or he's just packing her full as much as you can. Chavez. So an interesting time for the caution, without a doubt. It's going to put these teams pretty close on fuel, but they're definitely not going to make it. So the question is, do you save as much as you can to have as little in the tank that you'd have to put? Or do you just go push, come down pit side and put everyone else on the back burner and just set the pace? That's the real question. Or will everyone just kind of go with the flow and see how it goes? I mean, that's what a lot of things happen here in iRacing. Let's just go with the flow. Strategy's not important, right? But, I mean, without a doubt, strategy is important here. And those 2 strategy calls I just mentioned, there's other ones you could do, but those are probably the main ones that guys are thinking of in the race car. You see Aaron blink out there for a second. That's the question everyone's going to be answering and asking once we get to this race. Once we go back green here, I mean, it's what does the aggression pick up? Because we're over halfway now. We're about to be 60% complete in this race again. Does the aggression pick up again, or do we start riding again and the aggression is going to pick up again in the later half of the race? Not sure. You never know. There's Adam Gutfelder probably preparing more damage right there. Coming off pit side. Chavez down pit road. You go down? Quite sure. Frank Chavez. I don't think you'd want to go 2 down. Entering turn 3, does Robert Tester and Carson Youngblood. They did a really good last restart, working together, looking up and controlling the pace. So they're doing that again. Will Aaron Longworth not let that happen? Try to make himself be the leader of this race. I mean, no one's been able to dethrone Robert Tester. He is locked in most laps of the night. If he crashes out here, no one else can lead as many laps as he has. He's led well over 50 laps. Without a doubt, the favorite for the rest of this race. A lot of other favorites crashing out, like Rogerson and Morton. So it's going to be hard to beat this man. Y'all best believe Robert Tester is going to lead him back to the Geico restart zone. It's at his discretion yet again. Green flag flies at the speedway. Tester leading a pretty good restart from both lanes this time. Longworth is not going to let it go. Trying to side draft. See some actual racing. A lot tighter this time though. Seems like everyone will be in the main pack. At least it seems that way. 2 wide racing. Even Gutfelder, who's 2 laps down. Longworth with a big shove. Outside. Huge shove from Longworth from the 38. And Longworth's going to get to the inside. Too wide racing again at Daytona. Slicing and dicing, but yet Robert Tester holds him off for one more lap from where he started on the restart. In first. All cars on the lead lap, and the only other car running that's on the track are in this pack. Everyone's in the picture. Gletfelder, he wants 2 more yellows or race him way up and get 1 yellow so he can be back in the lead lap. But as Carson Youngblood's challenges for the race lead down the back straightaway. He'll draw even with Robert Tester. Jim Tree, David Sharon are pushing this top to the front. Can someone dethrone the 22 Pennzoil? Whoa, you're seeing the 81 or 87 all out of shape there on the bottom. Gletfelter splits it 3 wide middle, trying to get to the front to put himself 1 lap down. Man, that is tight. Pushing the 7, very slow. Right there. Carson Youngblood has the lead entering 1. Back here with the 4 car, they cannot sort this out. Someone needs to lift and just give it up. It's just hurting you in the timing sheets. Oh, big! Oh, and he wrecks him. The 4 and Brian Matthews down and around off the racetrack. No contact with the wall. Yellow will fly. Man, the lap car of Adam Gletfelter there. He got into the. Oh, we see him in the grass here. You saw that happening from a mile away. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Obviously, he's just trying to get in the lane here, but really forcing the issue as 2 laps down. You don't want to force issue that much with the race leaders, but does it anyways. There's a hole. There's really not. I mean, that's middle 3 and forcing a hole and then spinning the guy out. And the 4 car, who's on the lead lap, mind you, comes across the track. Obviously not trying to wreck him, but unfortunate I did. And Brian Matthews, just an unfortunate bystander in that 28 Buffalo Trace machine in the Chevrolet. Thankfully for these 2 guys, they hit in a way where it doesn't look like they have any damage very much. And they didn't hit the wall, so they just skid to a stop. And definitely thankful that a yellow came out for both these race machines. But if you're Brian Matthews, you're pissed right now because I did nothing wrong, and you're the unfortunate bystander to a wreck. That wasn't your fault, which happens a lot here at these kind of racetracks. Bumps. Oh, there's a car in front of you. Not much he can do as a driver. I mean, without doubt, switching her down through the gears. Heard it there, that's what you were hearing there. And he gets back rolling. Looks like minimal damage. They're tracking her there. Yeah, a little bit of damage on the right front there with how he made contact, but it looks like the car is rolling straight and looks alright. So, there's Gletfelter. I mean, that is unfortunate for Adam Gletfelter. He just reset himself to the pit lane. I'm not sure why he did that. Everyone came back down pit road for fuel, and Tester leads them off again. Robert Tester looked like he was about to be dethroned and ended up not happening for him. I know Dave Sharon is not happy with that, and I don't blame him. I mean, that was unfortunate. It did nothing wrong. It just got spun out. There's the 4. He's going to start rolling there. See if David P. Sharon, yeah, his brother starts rolling there as well. And Matthew's still down the road. He'll probably repair a bit more, but Adam Gletfelder just trying to fill a hole. Super Speedway Racing, but without doubt, I was on him, but Frank Chavez will be the benefactor of that. So he'll be the first car lap down now. Himself back to 12. He is 4 down. Needing a lot to go his way as Longworth going to get another lap back. We'll be back to 10. Or I believe 10. Or 11, 10 or 11 laps down. Just hoping for more wrecks to happen. Maybe end some drivers' day. I'm assuming Gletfelder had a penalty or something there. He's still down pit side, so not quite sure. as we're pacing around here. Definitely some of the longest part of the race, or the pacing here at Daytona. It is long, and the anticipation builds for sure, but not the most exciting to see yellow flags out. I mean, the wrecks are exciting like that, but only a 2-car spin, not a big wreck, right? And didn't even take those 2 cars out of the race without a doubt. They're still in it. They're going to be perfectly fine, as you're seeing some cars back there come down pit road to top off on gas. The Chevy of Jason Steptoe. You're seeing this through Sharon Brothers. Blake Hewlett will stay out and get some track position. And there's Brian Matthews back out on the racetrack. And there's 28 Buffalo Trace machine. He got an unsafe pit exit there. Might have just got a penalty. We'll see. He might have just gotten a penalty there. Not sure. He might have avoided it, but looked mighty close. As there's the 7 of Samuel Longworth. Man, I hope he didn't get a penalty there. That would be Whoa! What happened there? A reckoning under caution. I mean, yeah, we're getting almost to 30 laps to go, but still a long ways in this race. And the guys who are left and not wrecked out or have a good amount of damage, I think it's pace management. You can battle for the race lead, of course, but don't do overly aggressive moves. Don't put yourself in a spot. I mean, I don't think anything in that last bit of racing was overly aggressive. I just think it was a mistake on Adam's part, and no, not on purpose or anything. Just a mistake at super speedway. We're seeing the back bumper here. Brandon Longworth, that Jeffrey Goodpaster Toyota, right behind him. The Jim Treat 367 machine. Third. Youngblood's POV, the top 6, actually top 7, mind you, did not come to top off on fuel. Seeing very spread out field on back. Pace car is going to pull off here, and Robert Tester, as the flag man grabs the green flag. We're about to go back racing here at Daytona. Pace car is off. Robert Tester is going to lead him to the Geico restart zone.
Green
and
flag,
here we
green
go.
flag.
Green. Robert Tester gets up through the gears. Looked like a solid launch, but Longworth has a good shove from the 38 of Goodpaster. One view here and seeing the shoving. Top lane has less cars, but he will have the momentum off exit, nonetheless, most likely. So Goodpaster's able to build a run with Longworth. Maybe Blake will help him up there. Decent run, just not able to really pull up to the race leader. Got a side draft now, a few of those guys on the top, because now you're going to get freight trained if you don't, unless someone jumps up there with you. You're seeing the top 11 cars, all in this pack of race cars. But Longworth off of 4, only 2 cars on the outside, but my lord, he's going to try for the race lead at the line. I believe Tester got it. He'll put another lap led to the book. But Longworth might not have much longer, and he might be in the race lead. But if you're Aaron Longworth, you don't want to leave the 38 out there. So even if you get cleared, you don't want to leave your buddy who helps you get there out high to dry. Another good run off corner exit with both those cars. Here goes Blake in the 87. He'll jump to the outside. Clear, Longworth clear, and he leaves that 38 car. Just like I was talking about, leaves him out to dry. And then Blake, he'll bear on the outside. Austin Norris, he'll jump to the top with his Toyota teammate and be like, I got you, bud. We're going to try and go to the front ourselves. But new race leader here at Daytona, it's Aaron Longworth. And that 42 Chevrolet. 31 laps to go. Goodpaster and Austin Norris moving down here. Whoa, that's tight. David Sharon cutting him a break. He was not clear. Brian Matthews back there. Might hurt Goodpaster a little bit more. He might fall all the way to 11th after restarting in 4th. If I want to restart, a lot of stacking up though. It's allowing Goodpaster, by himself mind you, to make runs. But if I'm Austin Norris, I'm just going to let him in because he's just slowing us up, side drafting on the outside. See if anyone does let him in. Brian Matthews might let him in here. Go all the way to the top of the racetrack trying to get to the back and cycle into the line. There, wasn't getting down in time in front of Matthews. Most side-by-side action they're all gonna get. And we're back to single file. All the top 11 single file. Frank Chavez, all by his lonesome with the fellow lap car, Samuel Longworth. Adam Gutfelter is out of this race after that crash. So he is in 13th position. Longworth most likely going to pass the qualifications till the end of this race. New race leader, it's interesting seeing the 42 machine, a new car leading the field. It's not that 22 Pennzoil Ford Mustang. It's the 42 Aaron's Chevrolet. Love to see Aaron's on the car. I wish the dog was on the car. That was always a part of that. I don't remember the dog's nickname off the top of my head, but always fun to see the little doggo on the side of the car. The field's kind of just, there's biding time. I think everyone should be good to go on fuel. We'll look here at the settings. See how that shapes up. So, Longworth, and the longest anyone went was 27 laps. I think that might just be as long as they can go. Excuse me, if that is the case, they will have to stop for fuel again, or they're going to have to back the pace way, way down. Like 30 mile an hour to save that much gas, if not more. So I don't think you're going to do that. Longworth just passed from 13th on Gutfelter. Every point does matter. Starting to see a second lane be built up with Matthews and Norris. And good passer back there, but pit fuel wise, I mean, some guys in the back have a little bit more fuel, but I still don't think those guys can make it. I think you all pit with fellow race cars all at once. I think if everyone went by themselves, no, not by themselves, as a pack, I'm just saying everyone's going to pit this time. We're seeing Austin Norris start to challenge these guys for the race lead. Austin Norris on that outside lane. He's trying to go to the front. Got him side by side. Trash Panda Toyota wrapping it around the outside. Blake Hullett. Whoa, Hewlett. What a job off of turn 2 there. He was all over. Off to really loose. Side drafting from the top lane though. Really starting to pull up with race cars. They're still racing. It is a race from lap 1 to lap 100. So maybe looking for some better track position, and just being in the lead never does hurt your feelings as a driver. I'm sure Robert Tester wasn't having a hard time up there leading this race. It does feel good to be at the front of these restrictor plates until you get turned in front of the field or something bad happens, but that's just part of it. Sharon's back here. I'm not sure if they're saving gas every time or what. But they are a little further back than they'd probably like to see, starting to close up now on the pack. Whoa, and Robert Tester, Jim Treat, both looking to the outside there. And Longworth, he might have to start playing defensive. Yeah, that shows me and everyone else and Longworth that the Tester's not content with riding anymore. He wants to keep that track position and stay out of the hornet's nest of really the top 2 are safe, and everyone else behind him could get caught in a crash. Longworth, though, continues to lead. Tester stays from the bottom. Pulls up here off of 2. Back to the seat. Robert Tester off of turn number 2. There he goes to the outside. Jim Tree will follow. Carson Youngblood will follow. All 3 of them. I think those are all teammates as well, so they're going to freight train around the outside. And Austin Norris is the benefactory. Brian Matthews as well, but now they're going to get stalled out as they've lost a few of those race cars. Oh, that's heartbreaking for Longworth. He got just teamed up on. And good pasture, not clear again. He'll go to the back and try to get to the front again. And the new leader, same guy who's led most of the race. It's Robert Tester. Jeffrey Goodpasture. Back again. Try yet again to get back into this race's lead and back up into the top 5. Blake Hewlett looking the outside. No one goes with him. Yep. A little tie and a little too high. Right on by. Side drafting there, I don't see as a smart idea. It's going to hold you both up and maybe a front draft. That's not good for these cars. They need to push. Just unfortunate. When you side draft in this race car, it is a killer. Absolutely bogs you down. And he is continuing to side draft this lane. He just file in line at the back of it. Right here, far in line. Yes. There we go. And it's still in the draft for Steptoe. They need to push though. They cannot draft. They're starting to lose it a little bit. If I'm Jeffrey Goodpasture, I am pushing because that front pack's pushing. And they are losing time. They're bleeding it down the back straightaway. Get a little tighter here. .23 laps to go at Daytona. They still have to stop for gas and fuel one more time. No one should take tires. Should just be a splash of gas, and they're back out on the racetrack. And now some of that strategy, if we get 22 to go, is do you take enough for some overtimes if we do get the yellow, which we might. We've had a few today. I believe we've had a few. So you take it for that and the chaos that overtime brings anyways. Or do you make it just enough to make it to the finish and add that time? You're going to be most likely leading the race if you do that. That second pack of Jason Steptoe, that really all started when Blake Hewlett side drafted Steptoe really hard when they were side by side. Killed the momentum everyone behind and themselves. And now they're going to try and gain back on this race leaders. I think I saw Austin Norris there. Off of turn 4, hit the apron, come up a tad. Slow him down and maybe help get some draft to these cars back here at Jason Steptoe. Robert Tester down the back straightaway. He'll hold the race lead. Ryan Matthews, man, onward. Going back a little bit there. Off of the 57's rear bumper than they probably like. It seems like this second pack is kind of stabilized. Maybe they're starting to catch back up to the front pack now. They're at least even with them. As they've stayed at 1.8 seconds here for the last lap or so. Whoa, as they're about wrecking, pushing each other right there. That's losing about a tenth or so. Just right there. Robert Tester leads this race. As we've said for most of it, I mean, he's going to lead over 75 something laps tonight. He is dominating tonight. I mean, I don't think anyone sees performances like these anymore at Daytona. Except maybe Denny Hamlin in the late 2010s, early 20s. I mean, I can't think of someone who's dominated this much in anything at super speedways. It's hard to dominate at these tracks anymore. Seeing these cars, I think they're starting to form up again. They're just kind of evening out here. But Tester's done a great job tonight, and he's had different help behind him. I believe these two behind him are his teammates. I know Youngblood is, I believe. But Jim Tree, I believe, is as well. So if there are 3 teammates lined up here at the front, I mean, that spells disaster for the rest of the field. You're going to have to find a way and find some guys that maybe aren't your teammates and work together. So Austin Norris, Brian Matthew, Aaron Longworth, and these cars back here, they're going to have to find a way to get by these 3. And I don't think I'm in maybe strategy, pace, or just get lucky and that they make mistakes, because these guys aren't perfect. They can make mistakes just as much as everyone else. They are human. Tester leads this race. 18 laps to go. You're going to see the lap cars here of Frank Chavez and Longworth. There come the race leaders. Look at the speed difference with Chavez there. Obviously a damaged car. But wow, flies on by. And Ryan Matthews and Longworth have lost the front four a little bit. Not quite sure why. Yeah, that's a nice job there from the 7 Longworth to stay out of the way of these two. And this might help these cars a little bit with some big tows and drafts from these lap cars. As we see Jason Septo and Jeffrey Goodpath kind of break away from the other 3 of the Sharons and Blake Hewlett. I'm wondering if these 2, Dave Sharon and David, if they're saving gas. They came in and topped off. They were on pit road for a while, and they might try and stretch it. I don't know if they can. Obviously some caution laps thrown in there, but it would be something. They have backed off the pace a good amount, and they are 2.9 and 2.4 seconds respectively from the field. So maybe just losing the draft, maybe backing it down big time. We're not sure, as we're going to see, I believe, 16 to go this time by. Yes, we will. 16 laps to go. Seeing the drone cam here. The drones are flying around the speedway. All quiet. And back straight away. You see them barreling down into turns 3 right here. Whoa. Get a little digger cam. The digger cam. I miss these cams. The digger cam was a really cool thing the NASCAR used to bring to the racetrack. So it's sad that we don't see them anymore. They're a cool little thing. Thought they were always cool. And as this second pack of cars are starting to reel back in the race leaders, or at least 4 of them are, as the one of the Sharons anyways, of David P. Sharon's lost touch with everyone. So I think he might be doing the fuel saving. If I had to think of anyone, as Samuel Longworth has come down pit side in his number 7 machine off sequence pretty much all race because of the damage. I'm sure he'd like to get on sequence with everyone else to help the fellow Longworth of Aaron out there. I believe his brother as well. I believe they're brothers. I'm not sure. I'm not for certain, but either way, I'm sure they'd like to help each other out. As Robert Tester and his teammates continue to pace this field, it has been dominated by Tester, like I've said most of this race, but how much more is there to talk about when we're running single file like this? One guy's just setting the pace. As we see a caution. Not sure why. Oh, and there's why. Blake Hewlett. Oh, no, David P. Sharon. Oh, he got real lucky there. Have to see what happened here. It's already, oh no, it's not started quite yet. I believe this is a bad view. Let's get another blimp view. That's always a pretty solid view of what happens in these incidents. Well, I don't know what Blake's doing. Maybe spotter said not clear, or I mean, another thing with these cars that really I think is something true with the game. Once you get hooked to someone, you're just kind of hooked, and I think right there you see it. He's kind of just hooked, and the 87 I don't think's trying to turn into him there. Just he's stuck to the 4's bumper on the front there. Maybe he thought he was clear. Maybe he thought he wasn't holding him as tight. Either way, they're gonna spin here. I mean, I don't think too hard of damage for anyone. I want to really look at right here. Whoa! David P. Sharon. He flew on in there. Very, very fast. Let's get a view from his point of view of all this. Live shot. Sharon coming up far back, sees the cars in the wall. Backs are down a good amount. Oh! He did get hit there. We're just backed her down a bit more, but it didn't work out in the end. Didn't really get wrecked, but man, that was close to being a wreck. There's David P. Sharon. Or not David P. Sharon, there's Blake Hewlett. Right here, as I believe everyone will top him off on fuel. Chavez is going to get a free pass or wave around here, so he'll be 3 laps down. But Robert Tester leads him down pit road. So this is the money stop. Getting with the lead now is so important. And for Robert Tester, it needs to be perfect tonight. You do not want to lose your track position now. Looked like he almost slid through the box. Tester comes out with the lead. Youngblood, Jim Treat, Austin Norris, how the top four, I believe, came in. Jason Steptoe gaining some spots. If your guy's further back in the field anyways, why not make sure you're good for a bunch of overtimes? Blake Hewlett's probably going to repair a little bit of damage. So is Matthews from that previous incident. As there's David P. Sharon now on the racetrack. He'll come off pit road. Dave Sharon still down pit side. I believe we're going to go green with 10 laps to go. So we're going to have a 10-lap shootout here till the end of the race. You're seeing Chavez, Frank Chavez down pit road as well. Rough race for him. Obviously caught up in a big wreck. So, I mean, no fault of his own to be caught up in a wreck. And obviously unfortunate for the 13. He's been multiple laps down all race, but he's fought hard and it's not over yet. I'm going to take a slight break for myself. We're just going to ride along here with our race leader, his cockpit view. Riding here with Dave Sharon after being involved in that incident. He's off pit road. We're going to see the green flag with 10 laps to go. So a 10-lap shootout. We've had 4 caution flags on the night. Not too many, but we saw the big one. We got our first caution flag of the night. You expect that to be our last caution to be the big one, but so many cars out of it. No longer a big enough field to really have a big one, but don't count it out. They can still do it. Anyone can still have a big one. Doesn't matter how many cars. But Robert Tester has been the guy to beat. Carson Youngblood, though, I think he's a man who can do it. And Austin Norris lately has presented himself as a contender. Aaron Longworth actually was a car that was able to take control of this race for a few laps until he got spit out and back to the back half of the top 5 and now in running in 6th place. I would look at Goodpaster, but he's tried to make his way to the front. He's pushed guys to the front, and then he's been left out to dry in that 38 machine. Blake Hewlett in 10th, and Dave Sharon catching the back end of the field. We'll see 11 cars on the lead lap still, and 11 cars that will most likely be competitive. I don't think Blake or Dave will lose the draft or anything. Who is it going to be, though? Is it going to be Robert Tester, Carson Youngblood, Jim Treat, Austin Norris, or Jason Steptoe, or any other one of these drivers? Who is going to take the lead here on the restart, and then who is going to find their way into victory lane? Cars will come off of turn number 4. Pace car is going to peel off. It is at the discretion of the race leader of Robert Tester. Green flag is back out, and Robert Tester leads him off. And looky there, Youngblood was able to slot in those teammates 1, 2, 3 on the front. And to the point. That's a great restart there for these guys. And now they can set on putting your foot to the floor and pulling away as Austin Norris is slotted into 4th. And if I'm all these other guys, we can't fight amongst ourselves. We need to catch these cars because they have good enough pace. I think they could pull away from everyone else. And look at them. They are hooked up. Look at them go. Norris is trying to stay with him. Can't do it. And everyone back here is racing like it's for the lead. these guys need to get single file back here. Obviously, Carson can't do this for the rest of the 9 laps, so he'll blow the engine, but you do think that you want to be hasty, and if I'm Matthews, I'm just going to slot in behind Norris, push him. Might not have a chance to with Aaron up his rear bumper here. Oh, he's going to push him here. Aaron doesn't think that's a smart idea. He's going to leave him out to dry. Aaron did not like that idea. He tried to let him go up. And to the back goes Brian Matthews. Whoa, that was aggressive on going to the bottom. And Longworth disappeared there for a second. Woohoo, that was so tight. Good Jeffrey Goodpasture, who made his way back inside the top 5. These guys are about 2 seconds off the race leading 3 cars. They have broken away with 8 laps to go. Aaron Longworth trying to lead these machines, and they need to, this whole field, not just the top 3 in this pack, but everyone needs to start getting really close. Carson Youngblood can't keep doing that big pushing forever. But you guys back, these guys back here in 4th on back, they need to do the big pushing. Is there, you see it. Now you're starting to see those big shoves, everyone in the pack, but that's also how wrecks happen, so we could see another caution flag if they aren't able to keep it straight. 38 starting to build momentum. You're starting to see that clock on the left-hand side of your screen. Just trickle down 1/10 of the second there in that corner. That's good, 2/10 right there. That's a great start here. 3/10, man, he's starting to build some run. And once they get into that 1.2 second range or so, they're going to get a big, big pull on those race leaders. With 7 laps to go, though, these guys might be in the catbird seat. Only 3 cars are really catching them. The rest of the pack's with them, but they're not tight. Man, if all these cars were linked up real well, all the lead lap cars are together. Obviously a bit of a breakaway from the top 3, and whoa, 7 back there making some big movements. Sure what's going on back there. Aaron Longworth, though, hovering around 1.5 seconds back from the race leader, Robert Tester. He's about 1.3 or 2 back from Jim Treat. With 6 laps to go, though, that's a big gap. 1.4 back now. He'll start getting a good slipstream from the 3rd place car. A bit better here. That's what he needs. But once these guys get here, Aaron Longworth, Goodpasture, they're going to have a big run. And you're going to need to see some big blocks. They're 1.1 seconds back now. Okay, they're going to get there now. Without a doubt, they're going to get there. The question is, when do they get there? And I think they're going to get here in a lap. Oh, Longworth into the outside wall, back down to the field. Keep it straight. Oh, not able to. Hard in the wall. The 42 of Aaron Longworth. The anticipation of almost catching it 3-4 times. And I believe the P7 was an innocent bystander there. Oh. Aaron Longworth, that is heavy damage. I mean, he was catching it. I mean, I'm sure the car was broke. That's going to set up a 2-lap shootout. Take a look at what happened here. We're already wrecking here. Maybe go back a little bit here. It was down the backstretch. We saw it. You're going to see that, I believe, just a bump gone wrong. He did disappear there for a second. Could have played a factor. Ooh. Yeah, I think you can always tell what's going to happen right here. Ladies and gentlemen, the 38's going to give a kind of a bad push there. I mean, the 38 was and the 42 were just pushing hard, trying to catch him. Clips the outside wall, and I believe the right front suspension there broke. And somehow, I mean, the car morphs into the 38. Otherwise, that would have been a much bigger crash than it was. I don't even think the 21 has any damage. And I thought he saved it here, but it's still wiggling. He's dirt tracking it. Blake Hulick gets spun out with all the checking up. He saves it. He comes back up the track, kind of doors the 57, I can't believe all of them kept it straight here. I mean, great job keeping it straight. And then Longworth thinking it was over. Nope, the 87's there. He's going to go out back of the racetrack, get some more damage. And that second hit is going to really kill that race car if you're Aaron Longworth. Unfortunate there for him. We're back live. Aaron Longworth right there. Seeing some cars down the road. Seeing 2 Sharons and Austin Norris. quite sure why they're down pit road. Maybe packing her full of fuel. Not sure. They were down pit road for a while last time, maybe repairing some damage, because they were involved in that a little bit. Looked like it still drove fine though. But these three cars, they might be in the catbird seat now, because if they have another restart like the last restart, then they are going to be golden. But my question is, does someone challenge them? And I think the person that could challenge them is the guy who's tried to go through the field so many times tonight, and that's that 38 machine. He is definitely going to be a guy to beat and a guy to contend with in the 38 car. Steptoe's been solid all night. Blake Hewlett's been in a few crashes as of late. I believe the last two, but he's in the top 5, or top 6, excuse me. And he's in contention as long as there's not too bad of damage, which it looks fine. Just a little fender damage, never hurts. And I think the Sharons of David and Dave, they could be players. Austin Norris was in the top 5, top 6 there before he got caught up in that kind of door banging of the 42 being all out of sorts from the damage. Unfortunately for Aaron Longworth, but Aaron Longworth is still out on the track, so I'm really wondering if there was the damage that was doing that, or, hear me out, he was just so loose and just going all over the place, and he was trying to catch it, and he just kept driving it when he should have just probably just locked the brakes down. But he is in front of the field, trying not to, it's tough, right? I mean, it's so hard to look back on a wreck and how you should have saved it better and kept it out of these race cars. If, you know, if some guys just gas up a bit more, some brake a bit more, then that wreck doesn't happen. But I believe we're going to see 2 to go under regulation, no overtime. So we might actually get a 250 mile race, and it's going to be under regulation. Face lights are off, so yeah. We're going to see if they go green at the end and no yellow comes out before they take the white flag. Youngblood and Robert Tester, these two have been the dominators as of late. Tester all day, but Youngblood's been up here all day as well. I mean, these 3 cars of Tester, Youngblood, and Tree have kind of been the top 3 cars since they took the lead from Aaron Longworth, who just got caught up in a crash, leading that second lane, catching these 3. But now the gloves are off. Do the teammates still be teammates and work together to the bitter end, or will we see some betrayals? Some guys being like, I have to be a little greedy now. I can't help the team out. That could help me or could hurt me, but I have to do what's best for me and not best for thee, right? And Carson Youngblood could be that guy. I mean, Jim Treat could be that guy who jumps to the outside lane or makes it 3 wide, bottom or middle. You just don't know. Or it could be none of the top 4, and they could all wad them up, and someone like David Sharon back there, Dave Sharon could win. So, I mean, anything can happen. At Daytona, we saw an amazing finish. There's Dave Sharon and Austin Norris trying to catch the field. They better pick up the pace a little bit. I think they'll be okay. You know, coming off turn 2 now, they will catch the field easy, but as you see, Robert Tester, Carson Youngblood. We are under regulation here with this 2-lap shootout. Not a green-white checkered, just a regular attempt at the restart. Tester is absolutely dominated today in this restrictor plate race. Just like in real life, the Team Penske Ford's flying. This 22 Pennzoil Ford is flying. Can he hold it to the end of the race? Robert Tester, Carson Youngblood, pace car is off. The gloves are off, and Tester will be the one to tell him when to go. Green, 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 green. We're racing again at Daytona. Youngblood side drafts the 22. No teammate help there. He'll stay on the outside. Youngblood leading into turns 1. The 22 with momentum off of 2. He's cleared the 16. Now the 38 giving him a shove with Blake Hewlett trying to get to the 38. Stacking up there on the bottom with Jim Treat. That's going to give a big block from Robert Tester to the top. It's going to stall the momentum. Not really a big run. Whoa! Youngblood in the wall. No! And Chavez avoids it for the most part, but Carson Youngblood, pushing hard. And that sounds very bad if you can hear it there. Unfortunate. take a look back and see exactly what happened there. Just gonna rewind her here. We get a blimp shot again. I think that's always the best shot to really see what happened. And I think we can see what happened. Another bad push. Or just a hard racing here at the end of a super speedway race. You're going to see the 22 dart to the bottom. And the 16 wants to stay with him. But I think he lifts there. He's going to spin him. And the 38, yeah, just a stack up accordion. And Blake Hewlett sneaks on by as Carson Youngblood spins. I don't think a lot of damage for the 38, but definitely a lot of damage for the 16 of Carson Youngblood, I would say. Frank Chavez backs her down, won't even touch the bumper or the wall. He'll keep her clean and get a free pass. So Frank Chavez did a good job avoiding that wreck that was placed right in his lap, but we will not see a regulation finish. We will see an overtime finish. As you see it here, Robert Tester is able to hold on, but one of the teammates, well, he's no longer up front after he just crashed. I mean, I believe Carson, yeah, he'll come down pit road here. So will Austin Norris. Wonder if he's repairing a bit more damage from the side contact he had with the 42 car. If you're David P. Sharon, that worked out pretty well for you. I mean, you were down pit side, and now you're up in the 6th. And your brother is going to be right behind you, so you guys can link up pretty good here. I think those two could be some guys to watch here if they're able to link up. Blake Hewlett, though, what a job. I mean, he was the 5th caution of the night, or 4th caution of the night, involved with the 4 machine. Just some hard racing, got spun in a turn 1 with 14 laps to go, and now, about 14 laps later, well, he's running P2 with an overtime restart to go, and just a 2-lap shootout with a chance to win it. He's got 2 Chevys that'll be lined up on the outside, 2 Fords on the inside. We haven't seen much of Blake at the front of the field tonight. We have seen him in the back half of the top 10 most of the night, being patient, quiet until the wreck happened. Obviously, that was unfortunate. So we're going to have to see how it all shapes out and how it plays out here for the finish of this race. As we see Robert Tester. I mean, Robert has absolutely dominated. I mean, we've talked about it so much, and it's got to be kind of boring the amount we've talked about it tonight. But I mean, he's done such a well job at managing the field there, and right there when he had to throw a block, he threw the block well. Wasn't late. I thought it was going to be late, but did a great job timing it where it killed the run enough, but kept it going where he was able to stay in the lead. Robert's done such a good job tonight in that Pennzoil 22 machine. And I'm sure he'd like to be like the 2-car at Talladega this last week and ended up in victory lane. Robert Tester, I think, can do that. We're actually seeing Jeffrey Goodpaster is out of this race. And I thought he had less damage. He is out. Youngblood's off pit road. Austin Norris is off pit road, as I believe we're seeing the 1 to go. And that we are. Pace lights are off on that race car. So Carson Youngblood right here. Frank Chavez hoping they crash and wad him up again. And I believe he'll get Goodpaster here for the finish, but he'll definitely get it if we see one more yellow and we extend to a 2nd overtime attempt. I believe we have 3 overtime attempts to the finish. I'm rather positive about that. Either way, Robert Tester wants to hold on to that race lead and hold on to control of this race. Blake Hewlett, this is a spot in the playoffs as well. Not just the win of the Daytona 250 and a trophy plaque, but this is a spot in the playoffs. You don't have to worry about winning or how well you run for the rest of the regular season of these 10 race regular season. You don't have to worry about it. Tonight you can punch your ticket in to victory lane and not have to worry, stress, and have bad races where you're down on your luck, You're all good for the rest of the season. So this is big, not only for Robert Tester, who's dominated tonight and wants to close it out with an overtime restart, but for Blake Hewlett, Jim Treat, Jason Steptoe, any of these guys, this is a confirmed, secured spot for the playoffs. And who doesn't want a nice plaque to go on their wall of a Daytona 250 winner in the Zero Torque Racing League? Austin Norris will just barely, I think, catch the field. It might be like Kyle Busch a long time ago and catching the field perfect time and flying it by the outside. Starter cam, I mean, it's not a starter. The starter is going to be Robert Tester. He'll decide when the field goes to green flag. Racing pace car is going to pull off here. Robert Tester, Blake Hewlett, your front row.
Green flag.
Green flag. And a great launch from the bottom. Great launch from those first two cars in the bottom lane. And a great shove from Steptoe. If I'm Steptoe, I'm going to stay glued to the back bumper here. And those two Fords got to go up there. They do. They get up to the top. Ooh, and Blake Hewlett pulls a block and Jim Treat around. Jim Treat's in the roll. He threw a block. It was too late. And the yellow will come out again. My, oh my. It continues. I mean, that was not Blake Hewlett's fault. I don't believe. I mean, just tough racing in. That looks like it might be Blake Hewlett's day over. Frank Chavez is getting another free pass. I think he'll be 2 down. And then he'll have another spot, I believe, fair from Blake, because I believe I can hear that car. Oh, yeah. Does not look good. Fender's off. The right front is locked up. Jim Treat's driving her around. So let's see what happened. I'm going to point fingers yet until we see the replay. You're going to see Blake here. He throws a big block on the 50 car, to be honest. Just barely makes that work, and Jim pulls down just too late. I mean, the 87 is there. Jim is not clear, and the 87, oh, it takes a hard right to try to avoid it, but that made the wreck worse, honestly, for the 87. And Jim Treat kind of got lucky that he phased right there, and Austin Norris, again, I don't think he got any damage there. And whoa, saw the 4 car spin out as well here. I wonder if he gets her back straight. I did not see that there. We were focused on the big hard crashing to the outside wall. We didn't see this. Oh, they all kept it straight. No harm, no foul there. But, man, Jim Treat, a tough break. Obviously, he's just, I mean, if he doesn't pull that block, I don't think he is going to win this race. So, I get it. I get the mentality of it. But, you know, we get another look at it here. I think a blimp view would be a good view as well to really see the block that was pulled. And let's watch it here. Oh, wow. Yeah, it does. A late block, and maybe not even a block thinking he was clear. I mean, he had a massive run to the 87, and it takes out cars, but I believe we're seeing cars down pit road again. We are. Carson Youngblood, Austin Norris again. Jim Treat obviously was in the wreck. Blake Hewlett is going to go down a lap here in his machine. Unfortunate there. But Robert Tester continues the lead. Hopefully for Robert, he has enough gas to make it to the end. Second attempt at the overtime. What have we seen in the last 14 laps? 3 or 4 cautions. We had like 2 or 3 the whole race beforehand, and those 86 laps before. So a lot of hard racing going on, aggression, and I look at the 2 Sharon brothers in the second row. They're not going to be able to work together very well, but they have made their way up to the second row. So if they're able to get linked up, they are going to bang. And Robert Tester, you got to be wary of that. Ryan Matthews has found his way into the top 5. Aaron Longworth in 6th after crashing while leading the field, or the pack. Austin Norris in 6th. Youngblood's down pit road. A few other names are down pit road, like Jim Treat and Blake Hewlett, excuse me. I believe Carson will be on the lap fine, but Jim, I think Jim's okay as well, just repairing a damage there from the spin. Seeing the 7 of Samuel Longworth. He did get around that a little bit. Might be able to get around good passes, honestly, with all the caution laps we have ran. Not sure how many good passes. You might just do it. I believe we're going to get the one to go this time by Robert Tester. Hoping we can get it to the white flag this time, or at least get it off of at least get into turns 3 and 4. We've had 2 attempts on restarts, 1 in overtime, 1 under regulation. We've not seen them make it to turns 3 and 4 quite yet. I believe the pace car lights are off. They are going to go to Y. Jason Steptoe, a crash, 2 crashes in the duel. Didn't have the greatest start position. He's up 13 spots from where he started. He has had a good day today at being solidly in the front pack, just not leading the laps, but being in contention. Could we see Jason Steptoe remove the final of the teammate trio, which is Robert Tester, as Youngblood and Treat are now at the back half of this field in 8th and 9th. Could he be the one to dethrone this 22 Pennzoil machine? Or will it be someone else, or will no one dethrone the 22 Pennzoil machine and he'll continue dominating with a 2-lap dash to the finish? What's really done so well for Robert these last 2 restarts has been the execution and getting to the gas and getting through the gears well and clearing, be able to work the lanes immediately, not being stuck side by side. He's done that so well, and that is what's really he's thrived in tonight, and I think that is something you have to realize is such a strong job, and that's got to be credited. I mean, Super Speedway Racing, there's a lot of luck involved, there is, but Robert Tester, he's dominated tonight. The luck might run out tonight on this restart. He has had a little amount of luck, got through some big wrecks with some luck and avoidance. He still has a restart. He's got no more teammate help. That is gone. It's just further back in the pack. So, can Robert Tester do it? Or can Jason Steptoe do it? Or neither on the front row and we see one of the Sharons win, or none of the front 2 rows? We'll have to see. Robert Tester is going to watch that pace car pull off for the 8th time tonight. And Robert Tester leads them to the Geico restart zone. He'll smash it on the gas. Good restart from the bottom. 4 from the outside. Steptoe aggressive though on the side draft. It's going to stall out first place and second place. Look, they're side by side. The backpack will now pull up alongside. A little voice crack there for myself. I'm sorry. As Robert Tester leads him off into turns 2. And off of turn 2, where will he pull the block, if any? He'll pull up top. Woo, really tight there on Steptoe. Steptoe going to be put through our middle. We see another crash.
The yellow flag
Matthews. 8th caution of the night. Aaron Longworth involved. Carson Youngblood, I believe, made it through all right. And another crash. We'll see on restarts. Well, we did make it turns 3 and 4 that time. I mean, we had that going for us. Brian Matthews was the one that got spun around. We're going to have to see what happened here. Brian, they're 3 wide right here. The 22 did a great job blocking there on the 50 car. Did a great job holding him up from taking a move to the race lead. But we're going to have to just see what happens right here. So Austin Norris, oh, there, I mean, he tries to force a lane, and he spins out the 42 into the 28 Buffalo Trace 28 machine. Oh, he'll go head on to the outside wall. That's going to be big damage for the 28 of Brian Matthews. And the 42 of not Carson Youngblood, excuse me, Aaron Longworth spins to the grass as Carson Youngblood squeaks on by. And Frank Chavez is in the top 10 now. He'll get another free pass. And I believe this 3rd attempt at the overtime is the last, if I'm not mistaken. But through it all, the Sharons and Robert Tester made it through it. Frank Chavez is going to be only 1 lap down now. If there is more unlimited attempts at an over... Oh, no. Does Robert Tester have to pit? He does. Tester down pit road. A 3rd attempt at the overtime has bit the 22 team in the teeth. No! Tester, who has dominated, done everything right on every restart. He'll have to pull it down pit side. There is one good thing. There's only 9 cars on the lead lap, which is a blessing right now. Oh my gosh. Youngblood pulls down pit road as well, and sees in another crash. He'll come out 8th, behind the 2 cars that just wrecked. That's going to be hard, even for Robert. And if this is the final attempt, then I don't see him coming back from this unless it gets really crazy, which it's been pretty crazy the last 25 or so laps. It's been a bit of a slog here at the end of this race. We're on lap 107. We were scheduled for 100. So we're 7 laps past distance here, and we're not even going green yet. So I believe we'll get 110 in. I believe we're going to get 110 in before they finish this race. But David P. Sharon and Dave Sharon are your front row. These two, the brothers, they are leading right here. The brother duo has done a great job running right with each other. I mean, I've never seen 2 cars run so well with each other and stay connected. They do a great job at it. That is a good skill to have. Now the question here is, does one of them tell them when we're going to launch, let the other in lane? We'll just have to see when it comes to this, or they just say we're both going to go for it, not pull any big bad blocks on each other, just try to race it out and hope one of us get the checkered flag. But you know, if they are brothers, which I'm positive they are, you don't want to see your brother beat you. You don't want to see that one bit. You have a rivalry that might be bigger than any other rivalry in the series, and you don't want to lose to your brother. Austin Norris is back up to 4th. I don't know how he's gotten back up to 4th. Survived and he's the one that spun the 42 down the backstretch. Jim Treat is back into 5th after spinning out in front of the field, being head on to the outside while he's running 5th, and that Ford Mustang looks like it's clean, as we'll see the one to go. This race with 111 laps. So we'll go 11 laps past distance, which is a tad bit more laps than the scheduled distance, which is why we're seeing the dominant car, Robert Tester, run in 9th position. Excuse me. It's been a long race. David P. Sharon, and then there's also the fight for the interview. The top 3 will be interviewed by myself. We'll ask them some questions. If you have questions for any of these guys who enter the top 3, either you're a fan or anything, type it in that comment section. Remember to like and subscribe. It always helps. Support our channel and support this league. But without a doubt, if you have questions you want to ask these guys, write it in the comment section. I'll ask them myself. But the Sharon brothers are going to lead them down the back straightaway tonight. They enter turns 3. The anticipation building. It is palpable as they enter turns 3, which will, I believe, be the final attempt at the green-white checker. Overtime 3 times. The all-time record in real life is 5 at Nashville in 2024. We're at 3 right now. If we have unlimited tents at the green-white checkered, we might see them. Everyone trying to grab that plaque that Robert Tester had firmly in hand. David P. Sharon and Dave Sharon, your front row, 2 Fords, and then a Chevy and a Toyota in the back row. For the first time, really, all day, someone other than Robert Tester is going to lead him to the Geico restart zone. Green flag, he launches so early. Clear, does the 50 car. Jim Treat's going to have a good restart. He'll clear the 4 as well. Jason Septo immediately jumps to the outside. He wants the race lead. He'll fall back in line, and then he'll start to side draft as we get into turn 1. Septo peeks his head out in front. Jim Treat to the outside. David P. Sharon going backwards into the wall, blocking down the back straightaway. Oh, and Septo clears for the race lead on the bottom. Bottom with good momentum. David P. Sharon and Carson Youngblood to the front at Daytona. Bob Sharon, we're pushing them away all the way to the checkered flag. White flag in the air. Jason Septo will lead at the white. Sharon in tow. Youngblood in 3rd. Robert Tester in that 22 Pennzoil machine, trying to work his way back up to the field. He's in 6th at the white. Dave Sharon back in 8th on the front row restart, but it's the battle for the lead right now as there goes Carson Youngblood all by his lonesome. I think that's just really going to slow him down. He's going to bring in Jim Treat and Robert Tester for the race win. Oh yeah, I think Jason Steptoe has got it made off of turn 4 here. Side drafting, fighting amongst themselves. Big run on the top maybe for Carson Youngblood, but maybe too little, too late as Jason Steptoe comes to the caution for checkered flag. Youngblood and Steptoe make contact. It's Youngblood at the line, I think. Carson Youngblood wins at Daytona. Oh my God, and Steptoe, I don't think even got in the top. He finished 5th. Oh my God. And a crazy race ends with a crazy finish. What in the world just happened there? We have to see it because it transpired quickly. This looks like shades of Ryan Newman in 2020. Big block from Steptoe. He's not clear this time. I mean, Youngblood had such a massive run. Honestly, if it wasn't for all the contact with the 21. Wow. I mean, I think we need to see the point of where the finish was. That's insane. I'm going to get a blimp view of it. Going real slow motion here. Right there at the line. And look at Jim Treat. Insanity. Wow. What a finish. Coming to the flag. Carson Youngblood snatches it from Jason Steptoe. I thought he had it made. I mean, they were side by side off 4 there. I mean, I thought it was done and over with. You're just seeing them pile in after the flag. Doesn't matter, I guess. But, wow. I mean, Carson Youngblood with a checkered flag spinning across the line in the grass and snatches it right there. I mean, what a finish. I mean, what a finish. So I think we missed some celebrations from Carson Youngblood. I think we got to see some of them. Looks like he burned them down real good. So did Jim Treat. We're going to try and get your race winners in here in your top 3. Give us just a moment, folks. Carson Youngblood is your winner of the 250 at Daytona in the Zero Torque Racing League. Chevrolet on top. Is Steptoe 3rd? we're here, folks, with our third place finisher. It's not David P. Sharon. It's Jason Steptoe after the flag came out. So, Jason, how do you feel after that?
First off, good afternoon or evening, whatever you want to call it. Right now I'm pretty gutted. I'll be honest with you, man. We made the right moves there at the end. Was leading all the way up to the Geico restart box and just lost it. I've been sitting here looking at the replay to see what I could have done differently. Maybe if I didn't come down on the 16, maybe we could have just maybe I could have just side drafted him and hopefully edge him out. But I mean, you're split second thinking you see the checkered flag. I mean, it's the Daytona 500, man. So sucks that I couldn't get the win for my team, Backward Bandits. But it feels really good to start off the season with good points. So.
Yeah, off of 4 there, I thought you had it made personally. They were side by side, 2 by 2. No one looked like they built a run, but out of nowhere, Youngblood and Treat had a huge run off 4. I mean, I don't think personally there was much more you could have done. I mean, I think it was just a massive run, and it needed to be like a perfect block and perfect scenario. But
yeah,
all in all, a great race from yourself, though.
Hey, I appreciate it. I'm new to this. I've only been doing this iRacing thing for about 3-4 months now, so I'm still trying to get acclimated with everything and figure out these next gens. But it feels real good to kind of see your hard work pay off in these things. So hopefully we can keep that up for the rest of the season.
Without a doubt. I mean, disappointing for not getting the checkered flag tonight, but you come home P3. It is a good start to the season, not a win, but a podium does always feel nice. Anyone else you'd like to shout out tonight? Anyone, family members or sponsors?
Yeah. I want to first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to my teammates, the Backwoods Bandits gang, Aaron, and our new recruit, Ted. So hopefully they're watching. Also want to give a shout out to my girlfriend. I'm not sure if she's watching, but came up a little short. We'll get them next week, honey. So and lastly, you and your crew who helped put this on to give the great fans a show. So I appreciate that.
Without a doubt. Thank you, man. You had a good run tonight, and that is Jason Steptoe, everybody, your third place finisher. You have a good night, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Of course. I'm going to try and get our second place finisher in here, which I believe is Jim Tree. So give us just a moment, ladies and gentlemen.
I just shit my pants. Oops.
Well, hello. You're up in the booth here, Jim. How do you feel after a P2 finish? Looked like you were going to nab it there with the 16 and the 50 getting together. But all in all, a good race from yourself and your whole race team. What are you thinking after that?
That was insane. Carson Youngblood's actually my teammate there, so the whole intention was to push him to the win, and that block from the 50 there, you know, kind of changed that up. And I did. When I seen them wrecking, I licking my chops. I thought I had it. I cannot believe we were just talking about that. He took that win by what I think like 0.003 in the grass. That's so cool.
Oh yeah, the stop photo of you guys at the finish line. His back quarter panel is what's crossing the line before your front bumper by so slim of margins. And it was a great finish there coming to the line. And
yeah, that was so fun there.
Your whole team worked great together. Obviously, Robert really led a lot tonight, but you and Youngblood were right up there in the mix. What was the strategy tonight, kind of to set the pace and the tempo with your whole team and organization?
Yeah, we were trying to just lead the thing and control the pace, you know, try to save some fuel. And we had a pretty good strategy coming in where we're going to take one tank on the last pit stop, but the cautions kind of changed that a little bit. But we were kind of backing it down, controlling the field because we were single file there for a while. Then also toward the end, our strategy kind of changed, and somehow we got a big jump out, like a 3-second jump out on the field or something, nearly. and that kind of changed up fuel savings a little bit too. So toward the end there, just kind of flying by the seat of our pants, trying to make something happen. So I'm glad we were able to get Carson a push to the win there. It's a really good block there by the 50 for sure. So.
Well, I mean, the 50 kind of was a sit and duck. I mean, it's either you make the block or you don't,
Yeah.
and you regret not making that block. I would have done the same thing. I think anyone off of 4 there, and it's for the win. And obviously, it still worked out for you and Youngblood there, Carson. And so in the end, it didn't no foul there. He just finished his 3rd, but. Yeah, it was a late block, but you're going to the checkered flag for sure, and your whole team executed well off 4 there to build that run. I honestly thought it was stalled with the 2 wide there with, I believe, Sharon and the 21 machine. I thought it was stalled, but you did a great job really getting to the 16 and giving them a huge shove.
Yeah, and the side draft really, I think what was able to pull me back in. Carson did really well side drafting the guy in front of him, I believe. And it just backed them up, and it gave me the run that I needed to get behind him. It was actually a very, very good, smart play by Carson there. So, yeah, I'm glad it definitely worked out well for us there.
Oh, without a doubt. So, all in all, a great night for you. A good points day to start this season. I mean, Carson with the checkered flag, but you running up P2 is good. So, a good start to the season for you points-wise. Anyone else you'd like to shout out here? Mention sponsors, family before we let you go here tonight, Jim.
Yeah, absolutely. 0x Media and Design on YouTube. We stream a lot of these races as well. A lot of league races and stuff, and we do videos, design, all kinds of design work and stuff like that. That's really the primary. Premier Racing setups for all the great setups they provide for me. And also, I have a discount code for 15% off if you use my discount code TREAT15. And then I really do appreciate teammates keeping us up front and our 0x team for everything that we do.
Well, those are some great shout outs there, and you had a good run tonight. Thank you, man, for coming out and putting on a show tonight. You have a great night, man.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. That was Jim Treat, everybody, your 2nd place finisher. Now, the big dogs left. Our winner, Carson Youngblood. We're going to try to get him in here real quick. That'll be our last interview of the night. Carson, you're up here into the booth. Do you got a copy?
10-4. How are you?
I am well, my friend. And how are you tonight? Coming from, I believe, 8th on that final restart, 9th, somewhere back there, to coming up and getting a checkered flag. Talk me through that final restart and what all unfolded there.
Man, yeah. First of all, I just got to give a big shout out to all my teammates out there, especially Jim and Robbie. We controlled this race all day. Like, we had us 3 up there all day, and I knew I got a huge shot from Jim, and that's what got me this win. So big shout out to him.
Without a doubt, you guys set the pace, set the tempo from start to finish, and I know Robert led a lot of laps tonight. It was quite interesting. It was just like real life with Penske and that Pennzoil 22, just up there dominating in the super speedways. But you yourself and Jim were up there right by him or right beside him the entire race. So was that the plan all night? Just like I believe Jim said, your plan was to kind of set the tempo all night.
Yeah, we got all of our 0x teammates. We got up there and we were just trying to lead and set the tempo, because if we knew we could get all 3 of us up there, no one would be able to pass us on the outside. So we got all 5 of us up there in line for a little bit, but then they got taken out. But all in all, it was a pretty good race. I got to thank all the 0x Media and Design guys and everyone who helps me out, Youngblood Racing and everyone.
I mean, without a doubt. But you got to tell me, what was going through your head off of turn 4 there, coming to the checkered flag? I thought it was kind of wrapped up, and then you have this massive shove, and then you're spinning through the grass. Talk me through kind of how that all unfolded and what you were thinking when you were wrecking across the finish line.
Man, all that started back on the back straightaway when I jumped out to the outside. I knew Jim wasn't going to be able to get to me if we were all in a line, so I tried to drag us back a little bit. So that gave him a run, a huge run coming off of 4, and he was just on the radio like, "Yo, you got a big hit coming, you got a big hit coming," and I barely hung on to it, and he just drove it. We just held the gas down. Then I didn't know if the 50 car was gonna come down or just let me go, and he tried to clear himself, and I thought Jim ended up getting it. I was sideways through the grass, and man, that was crazy. I couldn't even make it back a full lap to do my burnout. I had to turn around and come back.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, you were wrecking across the finish line, but I thought Jim had it. I thought you had it. I thought David had it. I thought 3 or 4 cars had it there at the end, but it was you across the finish line with the quarter panel sticking out in front of Jim just a tad bit more than his front bumper. So, I mean, an amazing finish coming to the checkered flag. A lot of cautions there at the end, a lot of wrecks, but you ended up snaking your way through there in that final restart to get the checkered flag. So, anyone else you'd like to shout out before we go and wrap up the tonight and this race evening?
Yeah, I've got to thank my family first of all for everything they do for me. Youngblood Racing, Southern Premier Contractors, the Diggerson Group. Yeah, everyone, my girlfriend, my grandma, and Nana, just everyone who supports me, and my 0x teammates, of course. I couldn't have done any of that without them. So big shout out to all those guys and everything they do.
Without a doubt. Well, your winner tonight, folks, of the Zero Torque Racing League 250 at Daytona, Carson Youngblood. You have a good night, man.
Thank you. You too, man.
Of course. God bless. All right, everybody. That was Daytona in Zero Torque Racing. It was a long race there, and it was a fun one, though. I mean, we saw domination at times. We saw some crazy racing, some big wrecks, like early on lap 40 something there. When we saw that big one down the backstretch, took out a lot of key players early. Robert Tester dominating the evening. Still came home with a 4th place finish. Still a solid top 5, but all in all, I mean, a really fun night tonight. One that I think went extremely well and was very fun to watch from my standing up here in the broadcasting booth, and I hope at home for all you fans out there who come to support your family members or friends and watch them race on the virtual high banks of Daytona. Without a doubt, the coming to the flag call, the photo finish with cars wrecking through the grass for the checkered flag, it was exciting, it was fun, and thank you everyone who came out to support us tonight and watch the stream. I appreciate all of you. God bless. Like and subscribe, of course, to the channel. It helps us out here in the broadcasting booth and at Zero Torque to help grow our channel, to make this league even better for you guys and ourselves. Thank you all for watching. Have a great night, everybody. Zero Torque Racing League at Daytona is going to sign off right now. Good night.